Okay. Okay, this is my first attempt at putting one of these on YouTube. Alright, here's the castle I made. Um, I should have actually did this before I had the grout. I had one layer grout already to it. And I'll move this a little bit so you can see the underside of it. It still does not have grout. A little bit of problem with attaching plastic to the two different types of styrofoam. The really cheap stuff breaks apart really easy. So it's very dangerous for the bearded dragon to eat or eat. To grout it, I'm using 25 pounds. So far I have, here, let me put that down before it breaks. So far I only have about half a bag on here, not even half. And got a little area for her to go in here. She can go underneath. She can climb. These are supposed to be just lookout areas, where she's supposed to look out and not actually have to be able to climb out. But at her size, this is Xena, our little baby. She's actually 9 months old and still only 6 inches. Just a little one. Yeah, here, she can take over. Actually, she looks big. Yeah, look at how big she is now. Get her, Xena. Get it. She's about 20 feet tall. Beautiful, beautiful leatherback. But as you can see, this is just a simple plastic, toys that the kids can make that you can get anywhere. I got these down at Diggers Outlet down there. Got it for $1. Got this thing for $3. Well, that and a couple other things down there when I was at Target. That and some candy and I think another toy or two. This is just a skull. I cut off the back of the head so she'll have room to go inside of it for more space. Okay. It doesn't matter what it looks like before, because when you start adding grout to it, it'll always look different. All this I'll paint over with a solid black coat, and then come back with the black will be the base coat. And then I'm not sure which color to use. I was thinking about attaching some rocks down here, little gravel from fish tanks. You dry it up, put it on here with a little Mod Podge, glue it on there. It works pretty good to hold on. I like using these these little plants. Oh, I'm sorry, Xena, did I scare you? Here, go play with your playhouse. There you go. I like using these plants. Unfortunately, when you put these on, if you use Mod Podge to hold it down, it takes a lot and it looks really crappy. I'm going to start using varnish for the final layers. It'd be a lot easier if I was not trying to paint it. If I was not trying to paint it, I could just use sealer, grout sealer, and it would go over just really quick and easy and get it over. But since I want to paint it different colors, it's going to be more difficult. I was trying to think of a way how to make this more interesting. I was going to actually include this in the next layer of grout. Put the layer of grout in here and pinch down a couple areas so random parts would be sticking up, but I could see how they'd look really dumb. My daughter had a good idea to put a piece up here and have it draped over here coming down. When she did it, it turned out really nice looking. So I'm going to have her help me with it. Destiny doing it. Maya, I'm going to have her help me too. I was going to have them do the grout, but it got really messy. I was trying a different water ratio. When you put it on, oops, I almost knocked it over. You put it on, you put 3 layers on. The first layer on the top layer, okay? Then you flip it upside down, like I'm going to do tomorrow. And with that, you finish the bottom. And then you can also finish this up here. Oops, damn plant. At the same time, and you can put all 3 layers, one after another. The first layer you want to let dry a minimum of 12 hours, 12 to 24 hours. I believe 24 hours will make it the most solidest it'll be. And it'll get all the moisture out. And once you get all that moisture out, the other layers won't crack as easy. The cracks mean nothing. If you If you start messing around with the cracks now, they'll chip and break. But if you wait 24 hours, a full 24 hours, you'll have no problem at all with this thing becoming solid. You'll still have the crack there, but when you put the next layer on, just massage it around into it a little. If you use polymer unsanded for the last layer, will look beautiful. Sometimes with the sanded layer, you'll get it where you can see the sand. I do not like that way. It's just a real pain in the butt. It just does not look right. And gonna get you, Xena. And Xena's trying to escape. She loves this thing here. Now with the grout, she used to stare at the skull a lot. But this is what I have so far. I have issues so far with extra grout being here. If it dries, it's a beast to get off. When you get it all on the way you want it to go, take a wet washcloth or piece of toilet paper, wrap it around your finger, and go down where you do not want it. What I'm going to do with all this extra grout that's on there, I'm going to actually take some more expensive fake moss you can get, little sand particles that are moss at the Hobby Lobby place, and put a little bit of glue down, drop them on there at different random spots. You're going to have some plants growing up here, so you won't be able to see it that good. And here would be good because it doesn't have to be too close, and I don't have to worry about her eating it. Right, Xena? She's really good. She does not. Here, come on, babe. She does not try to eat anything yet. But the older ones, when they're not around the fake plastic long enough, they will try to eat it, and little ones do too. But Xena's good. So tomorrow I have issues with the back. Here, come on, Xena. I'll put you right here. I'm gonna not do the back right away. I'm not gonna do the back. What I'm thinking to cut down the weight. This is extremely heavy after a couple layers of grout. After 3 layers, this sucker here will weigh about 60 to 90 pounds. That's why I'm not gonna put any grout on the side here or on the bottom. I'm thinking of trying a new type of rubber spray paint to spray it over there quickly, and then I'm going to still paint over it. But it's supposed to be more solid, to keep this a little more solid. Because if you just Mod Podge over here, it'll just sponge out. And I'm not sure. Ooh, yep, more grout falling off. So that's what I got so far with this. You can use anything that you would imagine. When you're making styrofoam, just do the bare minimum, and have lots of rigged areas. Like this had big cutout differences. When you add the grout, it will do a complete difference. Make it look different. I had many hills here, differences, different depths, and the grout smothers it all over. And when you're all done, you take the grout, make it thicker, put in your finger, go around here, and do a little circle as it's coming off, and make sure you keep going until it's completely off, and it'll look like a natural rock. I'll show you more in future videos. I'm going to have a little issues with the skull here, making it look like it's supposed to be there. I'm going to have to go back here and touch up with more grout, knock off some grout here, take all the loose stuff off. Here, I don't know, I was trying for something else, but I'm not sure. If I just take off this whole thing here, I would have lost a lot of weight. It was up nicer, higher, then came out like a little ridge for her to sit on top of it right by the light as a sunning area. But Xena is turning into a little escape artist. So that's not going to work out, so I had to make sure it was lower than it is. This is going to be inside of a new tank I got inside the aquarium, so I got to make sure that it can hold the weight. These pieces could come off when I was putting it together. I just made sure it was, I made it the size I want. This thing here is empty here. There's foam here and here. I was going to take pieces of fake brick and put it there, but it would not line up properly next to each other. And it looked really funny. Because you'd see a perfect line going over here like these rocks here, and then you'd see just bleh. Like someone put a board with rocks, a rock design on it. And I was thinking about doing the whole thing in grout, but if you do the whole thing in grout, I'd be doing over all this natural rock formation look, and it would look like a natural, like it was natural, like more like a sand castle, I guess. And I'm not trying for that. I'm trying for little figurines that are really small. That I'm gonna get them the little metal ones about this big. Put them in here, and I'm gonna spray paint them like a bright color, like maybe blue, like Xena froze them, like she's like a dragon. She's gonna be the dragon in this castle. I had this just a regular hole before. I like the whole idea, but at the same time, it was just boring, kind of, because it had the castle design down to a T. It looked beautiful. It just looked beautiful, but with the skull there, when I'm gonna get done, I'm gonna make it so you can barely see it. So you're gonna wonder if that's what's there. I'm gonna make it totally look like I made it. I'm not gonna take credit for it, but that's what it'll look like because it'll blend right in perfectly. I'll have leaves going over it in certain areas, different than moss growing out of it. Eyes will be just down here. Maybe I'll even put some moss right here in the bottom of the eyes, bottom nostrils down here where the sun wouldn't touch it all the time. You can add shadows to it. Everything you do, you gotta make sure that your bitter dragon will be safe. There are some points that are on here. When it's 100% dry, before I do any of the painting, wait a couple days and then go around and just make sure that nothing's going to crumble off. If it's going to crumble off, when you're painting, it's going to be a real pain in the butt. Because you're going to be moving it around and you're going to end up flicking that piece over and it's going to get all over the place. Grout is a pain in the butt, but it dyed my hand yellow. That's about it for me. I don't know. My goal with this was to have Xena a play area. And it got an heating thing, so it should be nice and warm. So it's got a play area. She's going to have a nice area to run around. At her size, she'll be able to go in and out of these holes. She likes to... No, she doesn't like them right now. Come on. No, she just wants to climb. Yeah, there you go, Xena. She is really timid. Okay. So these, I was thinking about having some fake logs. I've also used logs in the past. The problem with them is they break too easy, and then as soon as you put something on them to clear coat or paint them, they just don't look right. You'd have to use really thick branches, then cut them, and you'd only have like just a little damn little thing, about that big. Then when you put it in here, she could jump off and get hurt on it, so it's not worth it. Okay, so that right now is what I have so far with her. It's her little vacation, little playtime house. I will show you next with farther when I add more grout onto it. And in my other videos, I will also show you the inside of the cage that I already have made for her, that I spent and put fake love in the bottom, which she never goes in the bottom. And she spends all her time in the darn... No, I'll get to it with that other thing. But that's all with this one. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned. Thank you. Xena, you gonna attack? Get you! Kill her! Look how big she is. She's huge. Get her, Xena. Get him! Get him! Get him! And